Traders, happy new year. It feels like I hadn't seen you guys since last year. We ended the year on a green note, and we want to start the year on a green note. Leading into the trading day today, what is the trading wisdom? The market is always right. Don't fight the market. The market cannot be wrong. Additionally, do not worry about what the market is going to do. Worry about your reaction to what the market's going to do. That's what I'm going to focus on. Clearly, we're supposed to find and trade our edge, so the probabilities are on our side. We have the house advantage, but understanding that the market gets a little cray-cray from time to time, and it can be irrational longer than we can be solvent, goes the quote. Prior to entering the trade, we have to know our reaction to what the market's going to do. It can do anything, and it's always right. It's 2025 and it's time to thrive. Let's get to it, traders. Before the market opens up, we got a few minutes. We're sitting at $952 on our $1,000 small account challenge. The $29 market data fee comes out on the 1st of the month. What we made on the 31st just came out. So we're sitting a little down on the account. The good news is with their promotion, we have no other fees, no platform fees, no commissions, ECN fees, and so it's going to be straight profit for the next month. And traders, if you are liking this content, this vulnerable content, go ahead and hit that like button for me. A New Year's resolution I do have is to be a more positive influence in this space, regardless if we have a red or green trade, because our attitude is more important than the facts presented. If we have a positive attitude, even on the red trades, it's going to allow us to overcome them with time and persistency. If you approach all of this with a negative attitude, you're going to be self-prophesying defeat. We don't want to do that. I know I'm preaching this positivity. It'll probably last all of 5 minutes once the market opens up, but that's why it's a New Year's resolution. If you're just new to the channel, I don't know why you're just now new. You can go all the way back to the strategy that I'm going to be trading, which is the hangover setup, and I'm maintaining discipline on that strategy. Now, we nailed a good one VNet, our last trade, and there were a few other good opportunities as well. There's 3 this morning that I'm watching that are getting a little pop, and I'm looking for these to profit take a little bit. I'm going to short them probably out of the gate with a tight risk, because again, our response is more important than what the market does. And we got to be right or right out. When I first grew a small account a few years ago, I grew it from $1,500 to over $5,000, and then I got crazy. I was trading so disciplined, and then I started trading multiple edges, getting very loose with the profits. Right now, we're trading on principle, and so it's hard for me to get loosey-goosey at all because there's no profits to trade with. I'm still with the principal account balance, and we need to get a little cushion before we size up a little bit more. This is essentially a proof of concept for the hangover strategy that I haven't traded this strictly just this edge, and that's what I'm trying to do here today. So one important note for how I grew an account really well years ago was I applied that right or right out mentality, getting aggressive with the winners and cutting the losers quickly. Right now on the account, for those of you that are bored and don't have nothing to do, you can probably look back, but I've probably had a slightly more green trades than red trades, or maybe it's break even. Let's say it's 50-50. I'm setting negative on the account because the 2 losses that I have had have been 50 or 60 bucks, and the winners 20 to 30, which was my goal. I need to not let those losers work against me like that. Earlier on in my trading journey, I traded more scared, and now I don't trade as scared as much because majority of the time by end day these things do work out as I suppose they will, and that conviction is not so good to apply on the trades. Yes, we have to trade our own conviction and personal experience, but I need to trade a little bit more scared, especially when there's no room on the account to let these work against you much at all. And obviously there's other variables to it, like are you getting in with a feeler position, single entry, single exit? Right now, since we don't have any wiggle room, I'm focusing more on the single entries and multiple exits, allowing the winners to work a little bit more for me. And that's what happened with VNow in the last trade. Made roughly 30 bucks. If I would have taken it all, it would have been, I can't remember, maybe like $10 or $15, but allowing the profit to work for us a little bit, scaling out half the position, which is a good rule of thumb and something I teach and try to apply to my own trading strategy, works out very well. X, I like this to profit take today. NEXT, I want to see this pop, hit some resistance levels, and then profit take as well. There's a lot of tough resistance up here in like the 770s to $8 range. And by resistance, what do I mean? Well, there's a lot of traders back in this range that are long on this position. When Next sold off elevator down style, these people were trapped. They're like, how am I going to sell this now? I'm in it at $8.50. It just dropped in one day down to $6. Day 2 down to $5. So that creates a natural level of resistance. Again, I get very convinced because I've seen so many of these work out, but we have to trade smart. right or right out. And that's what VNet did. It was green nearly immediately when we got into it. And we were patient with it. PAY, patience pays. And then PENN, same story. We've seen this climb a few days. It's coming up towards 2020 resistance. I'd like to see a pop and fade. This is the chart on it. It's coming up towards resistance territory up here, where we see a bunch of these candles hitting resistance, hitting a ceiling. So I'd like to see a pop out of the gate and to fade profit takes a few of these. I may stab at all three of them. I don't know which one's going to work out, and maybe none of them. But we're the house. We got the edge and the probability behind us. So we're probably going to stab at one or two of these when the market opens up here in a few minutes. Let's see what happens. About a minute till the market opens on up. I'm going to watch X initially. Market is now open. Let's do 75 shares. Do 75 shares, order placed, selling short. 34.27. We got filled at 34.27. That's what the ask is at now. Probably back over like 34.50 at stop out. Oh, taking half off at 34. We got a pretty decent flush. Still have half left on NEXT. Getting a pretty large profit take right now. Good profit taking. Getting that drop that we wanted. We want to let this work itself out just a little bit though. We need it to keep profit taking though. Adjusted stop is going to be the fill price, 34.27. Let's look at NEXT, another one we were watching. NEXT getting a pop, so we might can get an entry on that. PENN getting a pop as well. Popping back up a little bit. Getting close to the entry price. Not a fan of that after a huge flush down to the 33.60s. It's a lot of times what these things do. They snap at the start of the day. Got to be patient in our winners. It's hard to be right and sit tight, as they say. Looks like it wants lower. Take another half off. 19 shares. So now we hit our quota. Over $20 on the day, and we have about 20 shares left. If this thing goes down another point and wants to pad the wallet a little bit, we can do that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is set an OCO order. I'm going to show you guys how to do that. You go over to your orders, you right click, close with OCO order. Now a little box is going to pop up, buy to cover in your order type. So we're going to have a stop market. The stop market needs to be like our average price. Average fill is 34.27. 34.27. And then our limit price on the buy to cover on the other side, let's say will be 33.20. Confirm and send. So now we have the order placed. So buy to cover, stop market, you see the blue dash lined up here. With our leftover position, it'll stop us out, break even. So we're already green on the day. So we're either going to be greener or green. And we'll profit at 33.20 if it falls down to that level. What you can do is adjust these lines as well as you're watching and managing the ticker. You can grab a hold of them and adjust them, move them as necessary. Now while that order's sitting there, I want to look at the other plays that we were watching. Okay, so here's PENN. We were watching for that pop and fade, and it is getting that. Dang. So we did miss that. And NEXT, kind of a similar story here. We could still get a position on one of these. Pin going red after hitting the 50-day moving average. There's the 50-day moving average. It's hitting that blue line. So if it gives us an entry, we can still take a part in it. So far, X working out real well, though. Gave us the entry. Snapped. Just beautiful. NEXT hitting some highs. I hit the quota, so I'm not too anxious to get involved with one of these other tickers. I don't know if that's going to be at my demise or flaw, or if I should. Because, for example, I do like NEXT up here, these levels, but it's kind of slow and methodical. Yeah, right now it's coming up to some tough resistance in this 820 range. NEXT. Should I stab at this? If I do, it'll be very, very tight, because the last thing I want to do is be giving profits back. Sell short, 100 shares. Order placed. Order filled at 830. I'm going to keep it extremely tight, guys. But it is up here in some really good resistance range. Got to be right and sit tight. Very lovely. Very lovely pullback. We'll see how much more she wants to give. Being patient before I take half off. I'll take half off 8.15. Okay, now we just have leftovers working for us. We're in two positions, X and NEXT. X, we're about to get filled on our OCO order, which is at 33.20. Obviously, the adjusted stop on NEXT is going to be at the high, which is my entry price. I don't want this thing back up to 8.30. All right, buy to cover. Just got filled on X. Flush down into the 33.20 range. We got to fill. Day P&L over $50 so far today. All we have right now is NEXT leftovers working for us. It'd be nice if these leftovers just continue to fade. The ticker goes red on the day, being that NEXT is up at major resistance levels. And we can just fade these 50 shares like 30 cents and be extra green on the day. But we're coming up right now towards our entry price, which is going to be our exit. I'm noticing X is actually below 33 right now. Wow, look at this hangover. Great job, guys. I mean, we just absolutely did some work on that trade. And definitely some things learned today. For example, NEXT, I really didn't want to trade because emotionally I was already winning and green on the day with the X trade. And I was like, well, let's just lock in. I mean, we're at quota. Why keep trading? But this was the other ticker I was watching. It came right up to resistance, and the trade kind of found me. See, we're either finding the trade or the trades are finding us. And we got to be disciplined enough to just let the trades come to us rather than us taking trades because we like to trade. Lower highs against VWAP in this candle that was previous resistance, now support. But more importantly, on the daily chart, we were just coming up to all these upper wicks in this 830 area. How do you not take a short against that? The bid is coming down quite a bit. It's coming down to that level. It probably will flush under 8. Oftentimes stocks do liquidity sweeps and they will flush under the whole dollar. All right, here we go. Down towards 8. We'll take it. Filled at 801. Really good day, traders. I'm very pleased with today that those trades worked out. The only other one was PNN. Let's see what that one's doing. I think it's down off of 2020, which is where we were trying to hit. Yeah, we could have got a short on that too. That pop out of the gate. I'm certainly going to be happy with what the market provided. X, flush under 33, did the liquidity sweeps, getting a little pop off of that. Today was a really good day to start the year. I am excited. Very excited about that. I let these work for me really, really well. That's the idea, taking some profits in case she wants to turn back around. They didn't. I would have made half of this, not much, had both of these tickers with the leftovers had turned back around to my entry price. But when they work out like today, we can maximize on it, hit 6.5% on the account. Now, obviously, you have to trade your winners very strategically like this, but the losers are going to be important too because those are going to come and need to not feel invincible because sometimes these don't necessarily work out. We need to be disciplined with those losing positions, the ones that are going to work against us and turn into fighters. And rather than dig ourselves deep into a hole, we need to throw that shovel aside, jump out of that hole, go find another hole. Very excited to start the year on this note. The last trading day today made $100. If we can keep that up, we can really grow this account really rapidly. What we need not to do is to give this profit back tomorrow on Friday. Got to end the week on a strong note. But traders, let me know what you think in the comment section below. How's your trading going? What are your New Year's resolutions for the year? And if there's anything I can help you with at all, leave it in the comment section below or email me everydaytrading@gmail.com. Always happy to help. Traders, love you guys. We will see you tomorrow.